Hi and welcome back to another video. I studied fashion styling at NIFT, and in today's video I'm going to tell you how I did it and what the experience was like. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly and honest review of the course. So if you're considering studying the same, then this video will help solve some of your doubts and questions. So first of all, why did I study fashion styling? During COVID, I started making content around fashion and I was really enjoying it. As I made more videos, I learned more about it. But at one point I thought I should study fashion too. But I had a bunch of questions and fears. And the biggest question was, should I even go back to college at this age? I have had no formal education in fashion. I've never worked in the fashion industry except for the content I make. My education was in management, both bachelor's and master's. So I was doubting my decision, but I am very lucky to be surrounded by people who really believe in me and are always there to give me that little push whenever I'm stuck in situations like this. So I went for it, and now that I have finished this course, I can say yes, 100% go for it. College or not, we should always keep learning and growing personally and professionally. And not everyone is always in a position to do something like this. Sometimes we have financial constraints, sometimes there are responsibilities. So if you are lucky enough to be able to do something like this, then don't let your fears hold you back. In fact, now that I've taken this course, I feel more brave and confident. And if another opportunity comes tomorrow, I will not be overthinking about it as much. The next question was, which institute should I go for? And I did check out the websites of some private institutes as well. And then I stalked the social media profiles of the teachers and alumni of those institutes. But I wasn't satisfied with the work they were doing. I didn't want to go overseas either because I really wanted to study about Indian fashion as well. Then I thought, why not check NIFT's website and see if they have anything. And that's when I came across the CE program of NIFT. It's a trusted name. It's the best fashion institute in the country. It's a government institute, and you can expect a certain standard of education from them. I came across the continuing education program of NIFT, which they've launched recently. And it is meant for people who are not from the fashion background but are passionate about fashion and want to switch their career and enter into a creative field. Or for those who are in fashion already and want to add new skills. They have many short-term courses in pattern making, fashion management, visual merchandising and many other, which range from a few weeks to a year. The basic education required for this is just till 12th standard. You do not have to be a graduate for this, and it's totally fine if you do not have a previous education in fashion. They have evening batches as well for a few hours every alternate day. And in my course, we had classes on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and sometimes on the weekends. So you can manage this with your job as well. You do not have to quit your current job to go for a course like this. The problem was that the course was not available at NIFT Delhi. It is now, but at the time, it was only available in NIFT Mumbai. So I took a big leap of faith and applied. As a part of the application process, I filled out a form and was supposed to send both a hard copy and a soft copy to the administration in the college. And the fee was around 90,000 rupees for the entire course. There is no written test, just an interview where they have to be sure that you're really passionate about fashion. So I just showed them my past work and content, and that went smooth. Now let me take you through the major subjects that we studied. The first subject was design process, where we learned making mood boards, theme boards, preparing color palettes, look boards, and just planning an entire shoot. Then we learned about the basic principles and elements of design. And these are basically the scientific principles explaining why something looks good to human eye and how to draw attention towards or away from something. And these principles could be used in any type of designing or styling. We also learned about textiles, different properties and structures of weaves and knits, different types of fibers, yarns and fabrics. My favorite subject out of all was history of costumes, where we learned about the history of fashion throughout civilizations and how major events like World War and the Great Depression impacted fashion. As a part of the same subject, we also learnt about the history of Indian fashion, different drapes, fabrics, and the regional costumes of India. And if you've watched my videos, you know how much I love artisanal fashion, and this was one of the most interesting subjects in the entire course. And once we learned that, we moved on to costume appreciation, which was again very interesting because we were supposed to watch movies and observe the styling of characters. Different colors and fabrics and textures had different meaning. And I started noticing things that I never noticed before. For example, in the movie Gangubai, Alia Bhatt wears a white sari throughout most of the movie, but the details in the white sari keep changing according to the scene. For romantic scenes, we see floral patterns in romantic colors like soft pink. For scenes when there is a celebration or a wedding happening, we see golden and silver embroideries in the sari. And in the last scene where they have to portray a powerful woman, they show a broad red border on the same white sari. So it was really interesting to learn these things, and now whenever I watch a movie, I cannot unsee these things. We also studied how fashion forecasting is done. Like post-COVID, above the keyboard dressing became popular because when we are working on a Zoom call, only the top half of our body is visible. So statement earrings and statement sleeves like puff sleeves and padded shoulders became trendy. And we also saw the tie-dye trend. And tie-dye became popular because during COVID, we were all making DIY tie-dye t-shirts at home. So as a part of this subject, we learned how future fashion trends are forecasted, and NIFT gives all its students a free subscription of the WGSN website, which is a company that provides fashion forecasting services, and this subscription is otherwise very expensive. And whether you are a designing student or styling student, NIFT expects you to learn fashion illustrations. So we were taught how to draw block figures, fashion croquis, flat sketches, how to render those flat sketches and take measurements. We also learned about color theory and did some exercises to understand colors better, and NIFT makes you do this manually, so you have to sit there and mix the colors and draw a whole color palette of your own. But it is also quite therapeutic, so I enjoyed that too. And finally, we had our masterclass on styling where we learned about the body types, different types of personalities, proportions, and how accessories and details made a difference in the styling. So yeah, those were the major subjects, and now let me tell you what the overall experience was like. Let's discuss the good things first. NIFT gives you access to some brilliant resources. The Resource Center at NIFT has some really good books which are otherwise very expensive, and like we discussed, it gives you access to WGSN for free. And NIFT, being the best fashion institute in the country, has a certain level of credibility. It gives you exposure by inviting industry experts and organizing events where you can meet artisans and know more about their craft. What I did not like about this course though was just how unorganized it was. Classes were rescheduled and cancelled last minute by visiting faculties, and it felt like they respected the teachers' time but not the students, and that was something which made me really angry sometimes. I should also make this clear that NIFT does not give any placement guarantee for these courses, although some students did manage to get internships through the teachers. But if you're looking for a course which has placement guarantee, then this is not the one. I also felt that the course focused more on theory and basics of fashion rather than practical styling. And to cover up that gap, I did take some online courses on Udemy. I referred YouTube videos, I read some blogs and books. And in case you're not able to go for a course like this, then I will share those links in the description box. At the end of this course, we had a jury, which is like a final exam, where we were supposed to pick up a theme or inspiration and based on that conduct an entire shoot and then show the whole process to a panel. My theme was celebrating heirloom pieces and rural fashion. It was inspired by the women of my family, and I used their old clothes and jewelry for the shoot, which I did in my Nani's village in Rajasthan. So yeah, it was a mixed experience, but I still learnt a lot, and I will be sharing all this knowledge with you through my styling series along with the shopping vlogs. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.